Hello dear students, we will continue our chapter 1 of Goodbye Mr. Chips from page number 2, last paragraph. In this paragraph we will see how Mr. Chips he decided to maintain discipline in his classroom. We will see how he decided to overcome the discipline difficulties in his teaching career. Let us read together. Perhaps it was. Perhaps it was means maybe Weatherby, the principal of Brookfield, was right. Discipline was his problem. He remembered that first tremendous ordeal means a great difficulty, a trial. Tremendous means big, huge. That first tremendous ordeal of taking prep. Mr. Chips, on the very first day at Brookfield, he was asked to take a prep class. A September sunset, more than half a century ago, big hall of lusty barbarians. Now lusty means energetic. Students are always lusty and energetic. A big hall full of lusty barbarians. Barbarians means very naughty. Or you can call them ruffians. Barbarians, ruffians, highly naughty. Ready to pounce on him. Pounce on him, attack on him. As their legitimate prey. Prey means victim, and legitimate means genuine. Students thought that they have right to attack the newly appointed teachers. They have right to make fun of the new teachers. So they were ready to attack on the new teacher. And who is the new teacher? Mr. Chips. His youth, fresh complexioned. Now in this line we'll see the author is describing the personality of Mr. Chips. His youth, he was young, fresh complexioned. Fresh complexioned means complexion is talking about his skin, his body. Fresh complexioned means he is healthy looking and blooming. High collared, it means that the collar of his shirt are high. It must be the fashion at that time. Side whiskered. Whiskers, this part of the hair is called whisker, and side whiskered means that his whiskers are growing, coming down to the cheeks. It must be the fashion at that time that the people would grow their whiskers longer than what we have today. Odd fashions people followed in those days. At the mercy of the 500 unprincipled ruffians. Ruffians, very naughty boys, and unprincipled means that they were out of control, they were uncontrolled. And how many are the students? 500 students, to whom the baiting of new masters was a fine art. Baiting, teasing. So they were very good at teasing the new teachers. But as a mob, a huge group of people. But as a mob, just pitiless and implacable. Just pitiless and implacable. Implacable means unkind. And pitiless also means unkind or cruel. It means that when the students are in huge group, when they are in group, when they are together, when they are united, they are very cruel. Decent little beggars individually. When they are alone, individual means one person. When they are alone, they are decent. But when they are in group, they are very cruel. The sudden hush as he took his place at the desk on the dais. Dais is the rostrum where the teacher stands to deliver his lecture. And hush means the whole group of students, 500 students, quickly they decided to keep quiet as the teacher appears on the stage. The scowl he assumed to cover his inward nervousness, and Mr. Chips to hide his inward fear as a teacher facing 500 students, he adopted an expression of anger on his face. Scowl, like this. Scowl he assumed. Assumed, he took. He adopted. The tall clock ticking behind, there was a clock ticking behind Mr. Chip standing on the stage, and the smells of inks and varnish. Varnish, the paint used for wood. The last blood-red rays slanting in slabs through the stained glass windows. Light, the sunlight was coming through the windows. Someone dropped a desk lid. Desk lid? Desk lid means the cover of a wooden desk. Someone must have raised it like this and then left it, and the wooden lid, it hit its heart with a loud voice. Quickly, he must take everyone by surprise. Now is the time. As some naughty boy, he raised the desk lid and dropped it, and there was a lot of noise of wood striking two parts each other. Now it was Mr. Chip's turn to decide to take some action. He must show that there was no nonsense about him. You there in the fifth row. He caught the student in the fifth row. You with the red hair, what's your name? Kole, sir. We are moving to page number 3. Kole, sir. Very well, Kole. You have 100 lines. Mr. Chips gave him punishment to write 100 lines because he made something strange in the classroom. No doubt at all after that, he had won his first round. Now, have a very nice time. We will continue the last section of the chapter in the next video lesson.